Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I started on the wrong page. Okay, this is where I wanted to start. This is a guy, Brooklyn Patriot. Why would Ripple need to leave the U.S. to pursue cross-border payments? Why wouldn't Stellar need to move from the U.S.? Answer could be that Ripple is pivoting and want to be regulated as a commodity for a derivatives market, big money. But are they losing cross-border race? I thought this was an interesting tweet because of the why questions. Why would Ripple need to leave the U.S.? That's my thing is that I don't think that either one of them would need to use, because they're ultimately both global. I think that the reasons for talking about it out loud would be political reasons. And that's kind of the point that I wanted to get out of this tweet right here. And that's what I wanted to show it for. Okay. Now, we haven't seen Joker in a while, but he said something interesting today, too. And I think he's right. The central bank in Iran has adopted Bitcoin. Soon they will use crypto to bypass American sanctions. Next step, they will start selling oil in Bitcoin. That creates the demand for Bitcoin and then he says the road to crypto insanity. At this stage, you get a call from your grandma. She wants to buy some crypto. 90% out there do not believe in Bitcoin. Even among crypto, Twitter, over 90% do not believe in this scenario. But you all will follow. And his scenario is look at these numbers. This is funny. So it's not funny. Funny is the wrong word. What if is more what I'm thinking. Okay, so we're around 13,000 something. And his charting is showing, man. So if you go, that's 50,000 and then it gets up into the hundreds. These are crazy, crazy numbers. I'm scared to even say some of those numbers, but, if he's right, whoa. Okay. By the way, at the end of this video, I'm going to go over something that's going to be controversial. It's not something that I fully believe, but it's something because of something I said earlier in the week that caught my attention, and I wanted to go over it and let you decide for yourself. And I was going to give a warning, not to you, but a warning to whoever might be thinking in terms like this, at least from a United States citizen. Okay. Julian Flash, People's Bank of China published a draft law on Friday that would give legal status to the digital currency electronic payment system. And for the first time, the digital yuan has been included and defined as a part of the country's sovereign fiat currency. All right, so you can see, and he's retweeting an article from Zero Hedge. So China is in full motion, right? Okay, and then BondCrypt, Mongolia's largest bank, will soon begin offering crypto services, including custody, remittance, deposits, loans, and crypto asset management. The bank is one of Mongolia's oldest banks with 50 branches across the nation. All right. So you're starting to see this bank. Yesterday we covered another bank in Wyoming, that Avanti, I believe is how you say it. So we got Kraken, Avanti. There's some in Switzerland, I believe. Now Mongolia, their largest bank, is going to begin offering crypto. We saw PayPal and JP Morgan announcements this week. Do I need to get my son to draw you a picture? Right now, he's in bed with a migraine headache. In fact, many of you may not have ever heard of this, but this actually happened with my son. My son gets, and I can't remember what they call the migraine, but he gets migraines that are so bad, and any of you that have had migraine headaches, about 30 minutes before someone gets a migraine, they experience different symptoms. A lot of people get like flashing lights, and it lets them know that a migraine's coming. Well, something happened with my son a while back, and it was one of the scarier things I've seen. I'm driving down the road. I was going to Florida, and my son he said that he thought that his head was starting to hurt or something. And then all of a sudden, my other son's in the back seat, and he's trying to talk to him. and he can't speak. And for about I got so freaked out, I pulled the car over and I was shaking him. I was trying to get him to talk to us and tell us what's wrong. And he literally lost his speech for a period of about 30 seconds. Okay. Or 30 seconds to a minute. And then as it passed, and then I later looked it up, and with migraines, one of the rare symptoms can be voice, where it affects your speech. And I can't remember what the word is for it. But anyway, later on I went and got him an MRI just to be safe, and there was nothing. But it was a really scary thing. So this morning he had a similar situation where it was like he was having a similar type thing. But anyway, like I said, I've had the doctors check him out. But those migraines are real. You don't want any part of having migraines. I don't have migraine problems. I've had a couple of them, but I think they were related to my AFib surgeries, post-surgery. But I haven't had a lot of that. Anyway, moving along. Steve Gulbranson, Ripple keeps pumping funds into MoneyGram. And then here's the article on this. Let's go down. It says, according to MoneyGram's financial results, Thursday, Ripple handed over $9.3 million over that period. After $0.4 million in transaction and trading expenses, MoneyGram saw a net benefit of $8.9 million. The payment is the latest since Ripple, which provides several payments products aimed at financial institutions, invested $50 million in them. Let's see. In Q2, MoneyGram received $15.1 million. Anyway, bottom line is that Ripple is involved with MoneyGram, and apparently it must be a good thing because MoneyGram, the cryptic poet, put this out today. Ripple partner MoneyGram is up 26% for the day. Congratulations to those who got in. All right. Now, so they're up 26.28%. MoneyGram is. All right. Flare Networks tweeted this out. eToro, who's one of the bigger companies, says it's one of the largest and most important players in the blockchain industry. This is a huge milestone for Flare, and our deepest thanks go to the team at eToro who have worked hard to make this happen. So eToro is going to support Flare. Now, X sliding the way. Trillions of dollars need a new home, and Bitcoin is projected to be the alternative. And he's retweeting this article where BlackRock downgraded U.S. Treasuries. And I've made this point for over 2 years now. What I've always thought is that at some point, the U.S. Treasuries that have traditionally, or at least in the last 50 years, have been the go-to safe haven. Okay? And along with that, you've had precious metals, maybe the Swiss franc. Well, now you have the first new asset class since the 1600s, while at the same time, U.S. Treasuries are getting what they probably deserved years ago, which is a downgrade by one of the biggest financial institutions in the world. You do the math, or does my son need to draw you another picture? All right? This is all sizing up. It's really crystal clear if you're paying attention how this all ends. Then RizXRP had retweeted this from Payments, helping businesses pick faster payment options. 18 trillion, the value of instant payments expected to be sent globally in 2025. $18 trillion. The market, just for your information, the market cap this week for crypto, for all of crypto, has been between 350 billion and 400 billion all week. Okay. And this is saying by 2025, just in payments, 18 trillion. And who is going to be involved in payments? Well, that would be the greatest digital asset ever created, XRP, and its brother sister, XLM, right? Okay. Now, this guy at Dave6971 sent this. This is a really good clip from, you need regulatory clarity, from the digital director. Okay. Listen to this.
Second change.
This is Brian Brooks from the OCC.
I mentioned earlier is the decentralization of finance, or DeFi, powered by blockchains and other distributed ledger technologies, the rocket fuel for which is crypto. Now, this is no small change. It could be tectonic in scale. Blockchain technology is to the financial system what the internet was to libraries and post offices. Regulators and incumbent service providers, all of them, need to get ahead of this or be relegated to economic history. The change is real. It may have taken a little bit more time than we thought, but it's now here and it's large. About 60 million Americans own some form of cryptocurrency, and more than a quarter of institutional investors hold crypto assets in their portfolio. Total market cap of crypto, last time I checked, is between $350 and $400 billion. As a financial regulator, whether I like this or not, I can't ignore the increasingly important aspect of crypto in the world of financial services. This means banking. And I say banking because blockchain fundamentally is a banking technology. It records transactions, it enables the exchange of value in the same ways that bank clerks and Wells Fargo stagecoaches once did in the 1860s, except blockchain enables this activity to occur instantaneously with backups throughout the network, and network participants constantly validating and checking the exchange of information. Second change I mentioned earlier.
Great clip. Okay. Now, I want to go back. This same guy, at Dave6971, sent me this the other day. Now, this week, I went over this, and I told you what I thought was creepy about this. This is put out by the World Economic Forum. I also played you a clip from Klaus Schwab, who I believe he's the guy that started the World Economic Forum, and I was telling you how creepy he sounded to me and how he sounded like the Emperor from Star Wars. And then we saw this clip where the World Economic, I thought that this was just freaking bizarre. I mean, okay, I thought this was bizarre. I thought that it was really creepy that the World Economic Forum was so comfortable making a statement like this. This right here, and look, I want to make several points here. The first thing I want to tell you is that what I'm about to show you is not a political statement. I think there's good and bad guys on both sides of the political aisle. I think that many of them can be turned into bad guys over time in politics. I'm disgusted by the whole, all these people, really. But I want to make another point here before I go into this, and that is a technology like distributed ledger technology and blockchain, or any technology or any invention, can be used for good and for evil. I've always felt like Ripple was for the purpose of being, they were trying to do something for good. And I've talked to people like Greg Kidd, and I feel like these people, and David Schwartz and Brad Garning, I've always felt like these people were for good. Okay. Now, that does not mean that there are not powers around the world who would like to twist some of these things into something for evil. And that's what I'm going to show you today. I want to show you this because it wouldn't have grabbed my attention if I had not seen this week from out of the World Economic Forum. It says, you'll own, and this bothered me. It really did. You'll own nothing. Now, I can't speak for people in other countries, but I can speak for people in the United States. I think we are proud of what we've worked for. We are proud of the things we own. We take pride in the things that we have worked hard for and we own. And I can promise you, if you think that there's some kind of merit in making a promise to a U.S. citizen, and in return you're going to give us a freebie. Now, I think I'm speaking for the people who work hard out there. Now, there are some people who probably don't, but when you start telling me you'll own nothing, that does not make me happy. It's not going to make me happy. I want to work hard for what I have, and I want to accumulate things. Now, you may not know what I'm talking about yet. I'm about to show you. Okay. It says you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. It's almost like they're saying, you'll be happy because we said so, and you'll own nothing. This is how our world could change by 2030. Now, when I first showed you that the other day, on the surface, that looks like, oh, okay, yeah, you don't really mean that. Well, then I saw this, okay? I saw this tweet this morning. Former apostolic, I don't even know what an apostolic nuncio is, so I went and looked this guy up, to the U.S. Archbishop Vigano's open letter to President Trump. And again, I want to make the point. I'm not making a political statement. I wouldn't have cared who was president, who he sent this to. I just want you to see what he said. U.S. Archbishop Vigano's open letter to President Trump warns of a great reset plot to destroy humanity. It is not surprising that the enemy is angered at being discovered, undisturbed. Read his letter here. And I went and looked this guy up first, Carlo Maria Vigano. And I don't know anything about this guy. It says he's an archbishop of the Catholic Church who served as an apostolic nuncio to the United States from this and this. He served as Secretary General of the Government of Vatican City State. He's best known for his role in 2 major Vatican scandals. These were the Vatican leak scandal, revealing financial corruption, and this and this and this. All right, so he's a legit guy in that he is an archbishop of the Catholic Church. So here is his letter that he sent on October 25th, 2020 to Donald Trump. And I want to start right here. A global plan called the Great Reset. And I want to preface this by saying, I'm not telling you that I believe all of this. I am telling you that I've been studying all this stuff for 2 years, and that parts of this, bells are going off, and I'm saying, what in the world? A global plan called the Great Reset is underway. Its architect is a global elite that wants to subdue all of humanity, imposing coercive measures with which to drastically limit individual freedoms and those of entire populations. In several nations, this plan has already been approved and financed. In others, it is still in the early stages behind the world leaders who are the accomplices and executors of this infernal project. There are unscrupulous characters who finance the World Economic Forum and Event 201, which I haven't looked at that, promoting their agenda. The purpose of the Great Reset, and again, folks, I'm going to say it again. I'm not saying I believe all of this, but I'm saying that I know for a fact that apparently parts of it are true because they said it in the World Economic. This is the reason that it disturbed me, is because it said it in their own video. Watch this. The purpose of the Great Reset is the imposition of a health dictatorship aiming at the imposition of liberticidal, I don't even know how to say that word, measures hidden behind tempting promises of ensuring universal income. See, we've covered this, that they're talking about how this is for universal income. But as I've said a lot of times on this channel, when somebody gives you something for free, watch out, because nothing's for free, folks. Hidden behind tempting promises of ensuring a universal income and canceling individual debt. We've talked about that too. The price of these concessions from the International Monetary Fund, which we've talked about a lot, will be the renunciation of private property and adherence to a program of vaccination. Now, this stuff, I don't know. I don't know about all this, okay? Beyond the enormous economic interests that motivate the promoters of the Great Reset, the imposition of the vaccine, and then he gets to this, will be accompanied by a requirement of a health passport and digital ID. We've talked about all this stuff. Those who do not accept these measures will be confined in detention camps and placed under house arrest, and all their assets will be confiscated. This is the part that bothers me, and it bothers me for this reason. It says the price of these concessions, which is universal income and canceling individual debt, from the International Monetary Fund will be the renunciation of private property and the renunciation of private property. And this is why that bothers me, is because this video says you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. What are they talking about? What do you mean I'll own nothing and I'll be happy? I'm not going to be happy if I don't own nothing, if I don't own anything. I want to own things. I want to work very hard and pay my bills and accumulate ownership of things so that I can be my own person. I don't want to be owned by a government. And I don't think most of the people I know around here do either. That's why this bothered me right here. And that's why I wanted to present it. Now, look, as I say to my audience all the time, a lot of this could be complete bullcrap, okay? But this guy is an archbishop. I don't know what his background is and all of that. I haven't really studied him, but it was interesting enough for me to show you. You can decide for yourself which parts of that sound like they could ring true or which parts of that are just some crazy whatever. But it was interesting enough to show you. Now, I wanted to show you this because I worked out a deal with these guys for the benefit of my audience. You'll remember Yubico. I use a security key like this when I log into places like Coinbase, for Google, for Twitter. I secure all of my online accounts with this technology. So watch this if you haven't seen it yet. Okay. Before I go into that, I forgot. I wanted to make another point about this. And because I said at the earlier in the video that I wanted to give a warning. Well, my warning would be to anybody who would be a nefarious character who would actually have any kind of plans like this. I can promise you that those of us, I can promise you, if anyone in this world has any kind of intentions bordering on what's being described here, that you have no freaking idea the ferociousness which those of us like myself and many people who all they want is freedom out here would stand to attention. We would be all over you. Life would not be worth living if you riled up the people who would have a problem with this, which I think would be most of the world. So I wouldn't even begin to go off in this kind of a direction if I was anybody out there, because the groups that would be formed and the groundswell the silent people out here who would be not just furious, but who would be fighting mad to the point where they wanted to protect their children and their livelihood and their futures, would be something that you've never witnessed in your life. I can promise you that. I wanted to make sure any kind of creepy whoever out there that was thinking along these lines heard those words. Okay, back to security key. So this is a security key that I use. I use these things myself. What I did is I went to this company and I was able to work out a deal where anybody that's listening to me, if you spend, these keys are around $40 to $50, I think, to get one. And the way it works is just like right now, you might use your phone, to do, the two-factor authentication. But the problem with your phone is that hackers they're actually putting plants in, they're going and working for these mobile phone companies, and they're getting them to go and work there. Actual people that are involved with the hackers to go work there and then get in these accounts. They get in people's phones, and that's how they get around your two-factor authentication. If you've got one of these keys, you don't have to worry about that, because once you have this key, if they don't have your YubiKey, they aren't hacking your Coinbase account or your Twitter account or your Google account. There's no hacking it, period. Okay? So this is institutional grade security. That's why I got one. Now, the deal I worked out with these guys was, the link is in the description of this video. But the deal I worked out with them is that anybody that goes through that link and uses my discount code, which is also in the description, you will get $10 off any order that you do $100 or more. That's the deal. So it's there, just so you know. And I am the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that we live in a really creepy world at times. And I really do hope that all of this stuff that I read in this guy's letter, I hope that he's wrong, but I was just stunned at just reading it, to be honest. And so I wanted to share it with you guys, and you can decide for yourself what you think. Thank you for listening.